one step forward.
Another step in a 6-month search for a missing Columbia mother. Plus answers in my one-on-one with Governor Parson. We talk about the tough lessons he's learned during this pandemic.
I got a good deal on a dress earlier in basketball season.
And some seniors might still have a chance to wear their graduation outfits. This is KOMU 8 News at 10.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Today, Columbia Police announced a new step in the search for a missing mother, a search that's lasted for almost half a year. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Spain. Thanks for joining us tonight. CPD is planning to build a levee at the Lamine River. That's the main search for trying to find Meng Shiji. KOMU 8's Ethan Stein is at the river in Cooper County with new details.
Yeah, last time CPD was here, they didn't find much, but today we learned that on a video that they released online, you can even watch it here right on your phone, that they're planning on building a levee right on the river. They hope it brings a new light to a search that hasn't had it much so far, but it does come with a considerable price tag. The Lamine sits steady right now. It's a sharp difference from a few months ago when this crane was in position to help search for a body. Announcing in this video a new plan to spend about $50,000 building a levee.
But we believe this is our best attempt at recovering her body.
It will be split between the City of Columbia, Boone County, and the Missing Person Support Center.
We're continuing this search not only for the evidentiary need, but also the moral and ethical obligation we have to her, her family, and friends.
Remember, Mengji's husband is in jail. He's charged with first-degree murder, and getting a murder conviction is not easy without a body.
They did decide to do it, but, I mean, they've been talking about it since March, so.
Ling Bunch says she's not surprised by today's news. She's been steadily following the case, supporting Mengji's family.
One step forward, that's good. Any step is a good step.
Another step in an investigation now almost 6 months old. Construction is sparked to set next week, and it's also important to note that this project is not a guarantee that CPD will find Mengji. Reporting live in Cooper County, I'm Ethan Stein, KOMU 8 News.
And we saw some rain earlier today, the cloud cover as well. That's now starting to thin out slowly but surely. Heavier rain off to the east, but that's even starting to push away, and you can see some clear skies starting to poke through. That's going to be a trend we continue to see overnight. Clear skies with us in central Missouri, and that means we're looking at cooler temperatures to kick off our Thursday. Near 46 tomorrow morning in Fulton, 44 in Fayette, 44 in Moberly, same temperature in Boonville and Tipton as well, 46 down towards Eldon. So maybe jackets to start the day, but I don't think you're going to need them by the end of the day. We're going to have abundant sunshine, temperatures warming back into the upper 60s. We're dry for Thursday and Friday, but I'm tracking rain chances increasing for Saturday and Sunday, including the chance of showers and thunderstorms. We'll talk about that in my first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Matt. The COVID-19 pandemic is teaching us all lessons, including Governor Mike Parson. And some of those lessons have been tough to learn, including when the state received a much-needed order of masks from China, only to find out they didn't meet safety guidelines. More now from my one-on-one interview with Governor Parson. What do you think that the state could have done better or could do better in the future?
Yeah, I think one of the first things that comes to mind is don't be dependent on other companies from outside the state, and definitely don't be dependent on other countries, because we see how devastating that was for us and how out of touch we were with what we really needed. So the one thing I do know moving forward, I want my own businesses in the state of Missouri making PPE product, as much of it as we can, to provide our hospitals, our medical staff.
So what is the state doing to ensure that meat processing plants follow the CDC and OSHA guidelines to protect the workers there from COVID-19?
Yeah, we're working on that every day. We know that's a hot spot area that we got to be careful with there. So one, we know we have the ability now to go in there and test if we need to test. Two, to make a recommendation if these employers are less than 6 feet apart, they're going to have to wear some sort of, guidance will be wearing some sort of safety, whether that be a mask, whether that be PPE of some sort. But again, that's going to be up to the companies to make sure them employees are safe.
Let's talk about unemployment. Obviously, record numbers that we're seeing in our state. And we've heard from some people that have filed weeks ago and have yet to receive their payments. Why is it taking so long?
Yeah, well, I think one, just overwhelming the systems. We have about 400,000, a little over 400,000 people now that have filed for unemployment claims. Those are just record numbers early on. We were fortunate enough to be able to stay up compared to most other states. A lot of other states totally crashed their systems and everything. And we brought people in. I think we brought 100 extra people in. We were going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it was just flat being overwhelmed. That's what it was. But I think as of today, if I remember right, I think well over half of those claims are being paid in the process of that. So, I mean, we're doing the best we can for what we have.
If you could say anything to citizens of Missouri that you would want them to know from their governor, what would you say?
Just say keep the faith. Keep the faith, keep up hope. You know, we've went through tough times in this state before in our history. We're going to get through COVID-19. And we're going to get this state going back better than ever. And I'm confident just because I know the hard work ethics of the people of Missouri. I know what they stand for and what they believe in. And at the end of the day, we're going to win this battle, and we're going to be better off for it at the end of the day.
The governor also talked to me about how the state chose May 4th as the day to reopen, the state's plans for testing, and whether they have enough tests. You can find those answers from the governor on our website, KOMU.com. As the state is preparing to reopen in less than 5 days, Saline County still has the most active cases in mid-Missouri. That number stands now at 130 with 11 new cases today. In order to stop the spread, local health officials are trying to find out who is asymptomatic by testing 400 residents. The county has seen outbreaks at 2 meat processing plants there, Conagra and Cargill. During the last 2 days, tests were given out on a first-come, first-served basis. The state gave the health department 400 tests. 70 were used yesterday and 130 today. They teamed up with Katy Trail Community Health, and their CEO told us that their testing is helping flatten the curve.
Some people don't ever develop symptoms. That does not mean that they are not spreading the virus if they are positive. So widespread testing gives us a sense of what the penetration is in the community.
The health department told KOMU8 they don't plan on getting more than the 400 test kits they already got from the state. And another mid-Missouri hotspot, Montauk County, had no new cases today. There are 19 total active cases in the county right now. The health department also reports 10 probable cases, which means the patients have not been tested yet, but have symptoms of the virus. Local officials there plan to extend the current stay-at-home order. The Montauk County Commission will announce that decision tomorrow morning. In the meantime, Missouri's largest city chose a different date than the state to reopen. Today, Kansas City's mayor said businesses and religious gatherings may resume on May 6th. Restaurants, bars, gyms, and other businesses that draw large crowds must still wait until May 15th. Earlier, Jackson County and St. Louis area leaders announced plans to extend their orders through at least mid-May. Hospitals across the state have been struggling with budgets during this pandemic, and while they're expecting to get more federal funding, some rural hospitals say they may need it even more than their urban counterparts. The Herman Area District Hospital serves about 14,000 people. A hospital representative says it's now earning less money than the costs to operate because of this pandemic. Staff have cut back their hours, and the spokesperson says only time will tell the true impact.
I think we'll see more as time goes forward, how much it's going to hurt us. I think we're just, in my mind, we're kind of at the tip of the iceberg right now. So we'll see when times go forward what it does.
McKinney says small towns with fewer people to serve will likely be much more vulnerable in the long run. He also says he thinks it may be a while before hospitals see the same amount of patients as they used to. Starting on Monday, businesses in Missouri can reopen their doors, and this will include restaurant dining areas. If businesses choose to reopen, there are a few statewide rules to still follow, including sticking to that social distancing rule, having tables be at least 6 feet apart, and having no more than 10 people at one table. Some restaurants in town are choosing to not reopen their doors just yet. Jimmy's Family Steakhouse is worried opening the dining room won't be safe for customers or staff. Sophia's is planning to open their doors, but doesn't know how it will affect them economically.
Is the variable cost of having enough staff to serve our customers going to increase our costs and therefore potentially our losses? Absolutely, right? We certainly are just in the same boat as everybody else where we have no idea what Monday's going to look like.
Tomorrow, the Chamber of Commerce is discussing the recovery plan. To see the list of those guidelines, you can visit our website, KOMU.com. Salons and barber shops are also prepping for the state reopening. New orders include social distancing, but that's hard when your job includes physical contact. So many salons are putting their own preparations in place to keep staff and clients safe. Salons are taking it upon themselves to limit the number of customers. The Strand Salon in Columbia says fewer clients is better than none at all.
We'll be wearing face masks, and we're asking our guests to wear face masks as well. And if they don't have one, we can provide them with one of a no-touch thermometer available at the desk if they choose and want to use that. We're trying to do everything we possibly can to keep everyone as safe as possible, because even though it is an expense to us, for sure, it's less expensive than having to close our doors again.
Many salons are scheduling appointments online. At the same time, Missouri casinos will not reopen come May 4th. The Missouri Gaming Commission posted on Twitter that casinos will remain closed through May 15th. Some sobering numbers tonight on the economy amid this pandemic. The gross domestic product, or GDP, shrank nearly 5% in the first quarter. That's the worst drop since the Great Recession. U.S. Fed Chairman said the recovery will be long and painful, but the economy could begin to bounce back significantly in the third quarter as businesses begin to reopen. Among the hardest hit, of course, retailers. That's as malls are implementing changes to try to get shoppers back inside and help them feel safe. Here's what's happening right now. President Trump says he won't extend coronavirus social distancing guidelines once they expire tomorrow. Also, Jared Kushner, senior advisor and the president's son-in-law, added by July the country will be, quote, really rocking again. CNN reports that Kushner has privately expressed that he and the administration overall aren't getting enough credit for their efforts regarding the outbreak. And after weeks of staying in Washington because of COVID-19, President Trump says he is going to start traveling again. Today, he announced he is heading to Arizona next week.
I hope Ohio very soon, and we're going to start to move around, and hopefully in the not too distant future, we'll have some massive rallies and people will be sitting next to each other.
Trump added that starting up rallies depends on at least partially the states, but he hopes it will happen before the election. Coming up, a proper send-off is possible for some Missouri seniors after all, and how the outbreak might affect meat prices and supply.
And we stayed in the 50s all day. Much warmer air on the way for tomorrow. We picked up about 0.2 of an inch of rain at the Columbia Regional Airport. Combining our totals over the last 2 days, around 1/2 an inch in many locations, up to close to an inch in Jefferson City. We're tracking a dry couple of days after the break.